Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragon Talk. How's it going? I am Greg. No, I'm not. I'm a frog. A grung, perhaps. I'm Greg Tito. I have Lisa Chen here. Hi.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chen.
How's it going?
It is going awesome. Not as awesome if Shelly were here, though.
I know, right?
Well, I can say that, Greg.
No, but I mean, Shelly just makes every room better, right?
Yeah, okay. Off to a
But
good
you
start.
also make it all really good, too.
Yeah, you're trying. No.
I've already failed. All right, that's it. End of the live stream. We're
Bye,
just
guys.
it's over. Goodbye. No, thank you for bearing with us. We're starting a little bit late. Spoilers and Swag is very swaggerific in getting out. When did they didn't stop streaming until like 12:05.
They
right?
had a lot of spoilers and a lot of swag, I
Exactly.
hear.
There was a lot. So we just got set up with all of our microphones. We're ready to make this podcast happen in virtual Twitch format.
Yes.
Does that sound
let's
like
do
fun?
it.
So Lisa Chen is, you've been on the podcast, I think, 2 times previously? Maybe even 3?
Maybe even 3 times,
Maybe even 3?
I think.
Yeah. And you are, oh God, you have so many different revolving
Yeah.
things.
People probably mostly know me. I am a Dungeons & Dragons writer. I'm also the community manager for Dungeon Masters Guild and the Adventurers League. I have my own podcast, Behold Her, about women in tabletop RPGs. Talk to the ladies at Wizards of the Coast.
What up?
I do a lot of things. I'm also on Tales from the Mists, which is happening later tonight.
Woo.
Yeah.
And we are, of course, interviewing the Dungeon Master for Tales from the Mist, TK Johnson.
One of my favorite humans.
I like that you put that in quotes.
Yeah.
And we have exciting news. Well, actually, before I get to that, in addition to all of those many positions that you have listed, you're also helping out us at D&D with some social media postings.
Yeah, I'm all over the Twitter and Facebook, creating content and reading all of the fun things people have to say. It's really cool delving into this different side of the D&D community.
There's a lot. There's a lot there, isn't there? You just dive right in.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just got to do it. Dive head first.
There's so much going on, and we appreciate all that you have done, and we'll continue to do leading up to D&D Live 2019.
The Descent.
Oh, I felt like I went a little too far.
Oh my goodness. I'm a little frightened.
As you should be. We went in full us mode there for a second. But we will be descending on May 17th, 18th, and 19th in Los Angeles. It is the follow-up to last year's Stream of Many Eyes, which many people remember fondly. I remember feeling like a broken human, getting it all done and ready to go. And I'm doing that again this year for even bigger. It's going to be crazy. So we'll talk about this again when we record the actual intro for the podcast. But it's insane. We are having, we're going to be selling badges for fans to come. So they'll be invited all 3 days, May 17th, 18th, and 19th, to the studio in LA to witness the unveiling of the new Dungeons & Dragons storyline, all of the associated products with that, as well as interviews with the Dungeons & Dragons team on what makes that adventure cool, why you should be excited about it. Then we'll go into talking about a D&D Live game that will be flavored very intensely with that new adventure that you just heard about. So that's going to be really exciting. That's Friday night. It will be streamed live on all of the platforms, including here on twitch.tv/DND. And then, as I said, public, those of you who can get a badge and make it to Los Angeles will be there in the studio audience to witness that all happening. That's Friday night. That's the May 17th. May 18th is when people will get to play Dungeons & Dragons in that adventure story mode that we just announced the day prior. And so, Lisa, you have lots of experience in being around D&D epics and playing in them.
This is really exciting that the Adventurers League gets to participate this year, and it's an epic event, which we'll be talking more about throughout the month. But epics are multi-table, like possibly hundreds of players who are playing the same adventure collaboratively.
Yeah.
It's a completely different D&D experience.
I love it. And we are going to have lights and sound and costumes and all types of stuff to make it as theatrical as possible for those who are playing Dungeons & Dragons. 25 tables playing together, all towards a meta goal. I love that. I love that stuff. There's going to be tons of binary choices and things that will be involved that will affect the entire room, not just your table. And I can't wait for folks to experience that.
Yeah, this is going to be the most epic.
It's the epic of epics.
Epic of epics.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. We're building that into the messaging plan right now as we speak.
I'll take notes.
Epic of epics. It will be, we'll just use that word over and over again to describe all that's happening. So there are going to be 2 sessions of that epic. It's going to be 3-hour sessions. If you get a badge, you'll be able to participate in one of those. Again, 2 on Saturday and then 1 on Sunday. And then while that's all going on, there is an entire other studio in which we have built out 4 miniature studios, and there'll be a similar kind of setup to what we have in here for when we record Dragon Talk. Actually, very similar as far as like size, 10 by 10 studios, and we're inviting all types of groups, including podcasters, YouTubers, streamers that you have known and loved and been introduced to here on the D&D Twitch channel, as well as some new, really fun, exciting people, making D&D happen all week, or at least Saturday and Sunday from these mini studios. And we'll have lots of different channels for people to be able to experience all that's going on. There'll be product interviews. I think Shelly and I are actually mostly confirmed to be there to be talking to the product people. You know, so we'll have WizKids there. We'll have Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms there. Death Saves will be there. All of our partners, huge numbers, and go to dnd.wizards.com/D&D Live 2019 for a listing of all that, as well as information on the event itself.
It's going to be such a hive of so much D&D creativity in one place. Right? I'm so excited.
It's a social media masterpiece. There'll be so many things happening like that. So that's just I haven't even gotten like halfway through what's going to be happening at this event.
This isn't even our final form, you guys.
Exactly. That's also true. We'll be announcing, we've announced tons of groups and tons of individuals and vendors who are coming to be a part of this, but there are more to come as they get ready to go and make all their plans for it. So we'll be announcing more and more stuff that will be added to that over the next few weeks leading up to the middle of May. And so I didn't even get to the real fun cosplay part of all this. So we are working with a group that will have, professional cosplay performers giving a story for attendees who come to this event. If you follow through and experience each part of that storyline, you'll get a really exclusive piece of Dungeons & Dragons loot that you can't get really anywhere else. And it's kind of going to be a meld of the off-the-table stuff that we did at the Stream of Many Eyes, but having fans be able to experience in some of that stuff. So you can improvise with the cosplay performers. There's going to be lots of people just in cosplay around that will be fun to gawk at and take pictures with and hopefully post to social media about all of that. A lot of our partners and vendors and maybe even some of the influencers are going to be involved in that storyline. So coming to the event is really going to be this multimedia feel of like immersive D&D experience. So that's all happening during the day on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday night we'll have part 2 of the D&D live game that will be happening on Friday. The Dungeon Masters for that will be many of them from the Dungeons & Dragons team, like Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, Kate Welch will be Dungeon Mastering, I think, for the first time for one of our live streams like that. So that'd be really exciting. Another Dungeon Master may materialize later. So we'll give full details on the cast and everything for that, but there's some big heavy hitter names coming to those games. And then on Sunday night, as like a final closing, celebration of the Dungeons & Dragons community, we've got live music put together, an entire bill from Chris Funk of the Decemberists, who's a huge D&D fan, a great musician, a great performer. He's putting together this amazing bill of performers, 2 of which we can talk about now, which are Cardioid, a little-known band, but they're awesome. They kind of remind me of early Breeders or Belly from the 90s. I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself by those references, but they're awesome. Lisa's like, I don't know. They exist there. Yeah, I know Ryan's excited about that. But they'll be the house band that'll be playing with Chris, and we'll bring up tons of other acts from the D&D community. So you'll get lots of excitement from that, from folks who you may know as D&D performers and or players. They can also perform and do some music, so that could be really exciting. As part of that concert, we'll show off some of the best cosplay from the entire weekend during this performance, and then Magic Sword, I think, is going to be the kind of closer or final kind of bit. They are a group of musicians that are, I guess you call them like EDM type thing, but they've got this great fantasy vibe to them, which is really exciting. Oh, and I just got an email from them.
Ooh.
Oh. It's very exciting. I have no idea what it said,
Your
but I
ears
just
were
saw.
burning.
I know. It's like, right, exactly. How often do you say that live on a live stream? And then, yeah, who knows? It happens more often than you know, actually. So that's all in a nutshell. Again, I'll have to repeat myself. So that's basically like a.
Don't ruin it all.
It's a rehearsal. That's what I like to call it. I've already all done it for Pelham like 4 times already, so now I need to do it again. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
It's
And
exciting, right?
it's really cool. Like each year, it's becoming more and more immersive for people who can actually attend.
Yeah.
But then also, if you're online, if you can't come and just watching, and you're just watching, there's going to be so many different channels, so many shows to choose from, so much more content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're encouraging the folks who are coming to, create the content from our mini studios to broadcast to their own channels in addition to the ones that Dungeons & Dragons controls. And so there'll be this proliferation of D&D content happening all over. And I'm really excited to have podcasts be a part of one of these events for the first time.
Yes, about time. They've been doing so many great series, like the podcasts of Waterdeep and of Ravnica. So I'm really glad that you're bringing them on for the live show. I know they're
too.
all really, really excited too.
I know. And they're fantastic, and they spread the word about how fun it is to play in a Dungeons & Dragons thing like that really well. So I'm excited, yeah. As well as YouTubers, people that don't necessarily play live streamed games, but they talk about the game, they dissect it, they create really interesting, kind of similar to Dragon Talk type things, so that there'll be a bunch of creators along those lines as well too, which we're really excited about.
Cool.
All right, gosh, I guess I really got to do that all over again. We're running out of time. All right, so you want to do that for the real intro now?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Is your body ready? My body is ready.
That was mostly you.
I know, right?
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Did you memorize everything I said so that now you can repeat it?
Oh no, I was not. I am not prepared.
You have notes? You're not taking notes?
Oh no.
Oh, no. All right. I'm going to throw it to you and you'll be like,
D&D.
It's a game.
Yeah.
People like it. All right. So, yeah, I thank you, Ryan, for keeping us on schedule. You're a good person. You ready to do this? People at home? I haven't been checking the chat, so I apologize if everyone's being like, you're terrible. Stop. No more talking. It's dragon breathing of fire. I'm going to keep delaying and wasting more time. What do you guys think about that?
Huh.
Huh.
All right. Cool.
Such professionals here. All right. I'm going to do it for real now. Ready? Welcome to Dragon Talk. That felt good.
Yay!
Right?
That was awesome.
Yeah, here we go. I'm Greg Tito, and I'm not joined by Shelly Mazanoble this time around. I've got Lisa Chen here.
Yeah, I'm not Shelly. I'm Lisa.
You're Lisa.
Your friendly local D&D Things community manager.
That's right. Yes. So excited to thank you for jumping in. Shelly is, of course, on a PTO gallivanting across.
Miss you, Shelly.
I think she's in Florida. She could be in New York. I don't know. Somewhere on the East Coast.
Somewhere.
It's somewhere not here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all that matters.
But Lisa was happy to jump in since you are local, right, here in Seattle?
Yeah, I recently moved in December and love Seattle so heckin' much. Yay.
What do you think?
There are a lot of things to like about Seattle. The weather is so much nicer than New Jersey, and it's just gorgeous. But for me, and this is going to sound really cheesy, it's the people. There's such a vibrant D&D community here, and everyone has been so welcoming. And I guess there's something in Seattle called the Seattle Freeze, but everyone really hasn't wanted me to feel that. So I don't know what that is.
I didn't understand it either when people told me about that until I started, interacting with more people through my kids' school that were not affiliated with the gaming kind of thing.
Other people.
The other people, yes, exactly.
On the outside.
But you're right, it's the complete opposite about people who are in the Dungeons & Dragons community. And I've noticed, and you can speak, you're one of them, who has kind of congregated and come to the Seattle area. It's been kind of crazy.
More people are moving here.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's the place to be.
It's a magnet.
Join us.
Yes.
Join One Cloud.
Come to the positive light side.
Yeah, yes. Sometimes there's sun.
Well, now we're getting into that period where there's going to be, it's like the best time to be here in Seattle is like now until like October. So you came during the darkest months. So
I survived.
You survived.
And I'm here to stay.
Well, welcome as a fellow East Coaster displaced to the West Coast. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Lisa is, of course, you're helping us out with some social media postings and all of the fun stuff.
Yes. Delving into the hashtag D&D community on Twitter and also on Facebook, checking out all of the conversations and engaging with people and making lots of GIFs. Had to think about how to pronounce that. Making lots of GIFs of our shows for people to enjoy. It's been a blast so far.
You pronounced it correctly. You're good.
I pronounce it both ways on Tales from the Mist, and people in the chat always yell at me. So
There's
don't yell at me, chat.
There's no. It's like one of those things where it's like, do you see black and gold or blue and green or whatever?
Don't even bring that up there.
All I see is darkness, so I'm okay.
We're getting into the Tales from the Mist mood for our guests later.
I noticed that you guys are proudly wearing the badge of the Goth Kids from D&D Live.
Yes. We're the Ravenloft series on D&D, and we're planning our cosplays. And we're just thinking everyone's going to look so beautiful and colorful and fantasy, and we've got like black circular sunglasses, and we're going to be all pale and stuff. We're definitely the Goth Kids.
That's exciting.
But proud of it.
And D&D Live 2019, The Descent, we announced that just last week. It's going to be fantastic. Live from Los Angeles, May 17th, 18th, and 19th. It is called The Descent, and it's based on, well, not based on, but I love the Fiona Staples art that is associated with our announcement for this. We had her on the podcast back in January, and now you guys know why. We were talking to her about making this piece of art, and it is, the response from the community has just been kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. They love the art itself, and they're picking it apart for every single clue that they can.
Nice.
If you love the art, it's also available on our website as a wallpaper.
It is.
Always be plugging.
Always be. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So D&D Live 2019, The Descent is, of course, the follow-up to last year's Stream of Many Eyes, Stream of Annihilation. I don't know if anybody remembers D&D Live from Meltdown, but it's been this progression of getting bigger, stranger, more immersive experience. We're selling 3-day badges that started on Tuesday, April 9th. And with that 3-day badge, you get so much fun Dungeons & Dragons content. You'll be able to be in the live studio audience as we announce the new storyline coming from Dungeons & Dragons. It's going to be fantastic. There'll be interviews with the D&D team, about the people who made that adventure, about what makes it cool, why it's exciting, and all the kind of products associated with that new adventure. And then we're going to go directly into a Dungeons & Dragons live game with some of our most prominent D&D performers playing live together, dungeon mastered by many from the D&D team, like Jeremy Crawford, Kate Welch, Chris Perkins. It's going to be fun. We might have another Dungeon Master coming in for Saturday night that I'm really excited about. And then on Saturday, the public who are able to come and purchase a badge will be able to play in a Dungeons & Dragons game like none other. I can actually say that. It's probably never been experienced like this. It's called the D&D Epic. It's something that the Adventurers League has been doing a lot over the last few years. How would you describe a D&D Epic for folks?
So if you've never played a D&D Epic before, it's sort of like a D&D game times 10, times 20. It's maybe hundreds of people who are playing the same D&D adventure, but you're like different squadrons, and you're working together to achieve one goal. And something that one table does might affect something happening at another table, or might affect everybody.
Yeah.
It's really collaborative, and it's just D&D on a scale that you don't usually get to play if you haven't been to a convention.
It's going to be fantastic. I love that.
This epic's going to be even more epic.
It's going to be the epic that ever epicked.
The epic of epics.
The epic of epics. So there'll be 25 tables of people playing Dungeons & Dragons at the same time. Lights, costumes, sound, costumed NPCs giving out speeches to everyone, interacting with the players, and then those decisions that might impact what's happening in the entire room. It's going to be fantastic. There'll be 3 sessions of that over the course of the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. They're going to be 3 hours long. You don't have to have any experience with Dungeons & Dragons or Adventurers League play or Epics even. It's going to be very simple to jump in. We'll have pre-generated characters available, and that's all you need. You'll have everything. And the Dungeon Masters that we're bringing in, as well as the admins for the Adventurers League, will be there to help and assist. Many of them will maybe even be in costume as they're helping and assisting and or causing chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of wild.
It's going to be kind of wild.
Yeah.
While all that is happening, there's another studio which will have 4 mini studios built out into it. And we have invited tons of Dungeons & Dragons streamers, YouTubers, podcasters, anybody who is creating Dungeons & Dragons content to be doing it all during Saturday and Sunday from those mini studios. I think Shelly and I are going to be there. We're going to be talking about various Dungeons & Dragons products from many of our partners who will also be there in that same room, creating an in-world marketplace where you can get Dungeons & Dragons merchandise, some of which you can't get anywhere else or will only be available during this short time, or will be previews for the D&D adventure that will be coming out. There's going to be a lot of stuff there for folks. So people like WizKids is going to be there. Sirenscape, Ben Loons from Sirenscape is going to be there. Death Saves, Joe and his vendors will be there. It's going to be fantastic. Look for all of the information on those groups as well as the partners at dnd.wizards.com/D&D Live 2019. Thank you for at least giving me the, you don't know that? It took me a second. I was like, I'm going to say the wrong link, but that's where it is all. And of course, there'll be links to that in the show notes for those of you listening on the podcast for all this. It's going to be fantabulous. And we'll be adding more and more as they get confirmed.
Yeah, definitely keep checking back at dnd.wizards.com/D&D Live 2019.
Good.
Constantly updating it with more cool things happening.
As well as on the social medias.
Yes, we'll be tweeting about every update, posting on Facebook, so check all of our platforms for updates.
Exactly. Good stuff. So that's D&D Live 2019 in a nutshell. We're going to be talking more about it over the course of the next few weeks leading up to it. In fact, even bringing in some interviews from the folks. And I didn't even get to mention the last thing that's going to be happening on Sunday night, which is a music performance that's all being put together by Chris Funk. He's the guitarist from the Decemberists. He's a fantastic D&D player. He loves everything about this, and he's a wonderful musician, and he's assembling a bill of musicians that's going to blow your socks off. There's going to be tons of people from the D&D community performing. No details quite on that, but it's going to be pretty amazing. I'm excited about that. We'll be celebrating cosplay during that performance, so we might show off some of the best people who bring or come to the event in their own wear that they've created, as well as some of the costume performers that are going to be there, providing a experience that we'll get into on future interviews going forward. But yeah, the bands that I can talk about that Chris is assembling right now is Cardioid is one of them. They're kind of a band that reminds me of like the Breeders or Belly, kind of ethereal vocalists that are awesome. They're going to be like backing up the entire performance, and then closing it out is a band / group called Magic Sword. They are more of the electronic dance music type thing, but they have a very fantasy vibe to them, and their lighting is amazing, and it all cues into what's happening in their, DJ get-ups. I don't what would you call that? Their decks?
I don't know, music stuff.
Their music stuff. Yeah. Lisa did for a little bit do the rubbing of a wiki. Exactly like that.
Just like that.
So they're exciting, and I can't wait to see that performance. That'll end up being like a closing ceremony celebration of all of what's been happening with Dungeons & Dragons as well as the weekend. So a lot.
Oh my gosh, this is like 10 million levels above what Stream of Many Eyes
I know,
was.
right? It's crazy. I can't wait, and there's even more to talk about, but I'm giving you the quick bullet points here. Again, go to dnd.wizards.com/D&D Live 2019 to get all the information for all of that. Thank you for that golf clap on getting that correct. And we'll be doing more updates, as I said, here on Dragon Talk, as well as on all of our social media. So I think that's it. I think that's all I need to talk about for D&D Live. What do you think?
I mean, there's more to come.
There's more to come.
But we've got a month.
Yeah.
To share all of these awesome announcements.
That's right.
Keep them wanting more.
And Tales from the Mist will be there.
Yes, very excited about Tales from the Mist being there and representing the dark side of D&D.
That's right. I love it. And of course, during our interview for this, we'll be talking to TK Johnson, the Dungeon Master for Tales from the Mist.
On TTK.
It's very exciting. I can't wait. And before we get into our segment, there's so much going on with Dungeons & Dragons that I actually have to also talk about some products that are coming out. So Ghosts of Saltmarsh, we've been talking about that for a while. It comes out May 21st, so the Tuesday after D&D Live 2019, The Descent. You'll be able to pick it up. It's got 2 covers. One is a standard cover that's super awesome, as well as an alternate cover that you can only get in game stores on that date. What is in Ghosts of Saltmarsh? Do you know what's in Ghosts of Saltmarsh?
Ghosts of Saltmarsh is updating a number of older adventures, I believe, that were in Saltmarsh, and they're all nautical themed. So think like pirates and Sahuagin and lots of cool nautical stuff and things.
Yes,
Yeah,
stuff and
those are
things.
words. I write.
I don't improv this stuff. But that's it. That's exactly what's in there. And there's enough adventures in there to run a campaign from level 1 to level 12. Details about the town of Saltmarsh itself, which actually in the original adventures was not detailed out. It was basically like, hey, Dungeon Masters, make it up. To my knowledge, I think that's true. So yeah, we provide all the details for that, as well as, this is my favorite part, an appendix that's all about how to run ships and ship-to-ship combat, as well as the managing of that as for a dungeon master, which I think is super fun.
Exciting.
It's really
Especially with like that new WizKids boat.
I know.
You can actually use that.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
So they've got that amazing boat. It's called the Falling Star. Check that out. It's a perfect product to jump into, both as for Saltmarsh as well as any kind of nautical themed adventure you might be going on. And then of course there's the sinister silver edition of Ghosts of Saltmarsh coming from Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. It has got tons of stuff to add to your Dungeon Master's kit, including some physical items from Han Cholo, as well as tons of maps and things like that, a custom Dungeon Master screen. Amazing stuff. Check out their website if you can for more information on that. And then we announced Acquisitions Incorporated, the D&D source book. It is coming, and it is amazing. It is going to be out June 18th. He said, checking, June 18th. I believe
that's true.
I believe that's true. And that is got everything you need to play a Dungeons & Dragons campaign or adventure, or even just a one-shot session in the flavor of Acquisitions Incorporated that you've seen perform on stage at PAXs for years and years and years. I think a decade is what I put into the press release.
You can start your own franchise.
You can start your own franchise.
No one tell VR or Jim.
Oh, they're gonna start running their own. Yes, exactly. I'm excited about that. It's got a adventure in there. I believe that runs 6 levels, so that's pretty exciting. And everything you need to kind of play within that flavor of Acquisitions Incorporated, which is kind of like a heightened comedic, madcap, fun version of D&D, but still set in the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah. Corporate adventuring.
Yes, exactly. Climb the satire of corporate, hell.
Yeah, on Twitter and Facebook, I've been posting. Tell us what are your top skills and features on your resume that make you think that you could open a franchise. And everyone responding is really clever. You guys are really funny.
Who knew? D&D players
can be silly. What?
Well done. So I'm excited about that, and I will be releasing more and more fun stuff leading up to that release on June 18th. You can pre-order it now everywhere. You can pre-order things, including at Penny Arcade at their direct website. So check that out if you are interested for more. Yeah,
and if you order on Penny Arcade, you can get like a really cool green flame pin.
That's true.
It's really shiny.
It's really shiny. It's, green flame. You can just say that whenever you walk down the street and someone says, hey, I like your green flame. And then you just yell in their face and they're like, wait, hold on, what? Then you give them the book.
Yeah. A good way to be an ambassador for D&D. Just shout in people's faces.
That's very, that's perfect.
That's what I do.
One other fun thing I want to get out there, there is the 2019 Lambert House fundraiser for the Lambert House Foundation is live now. You can get all type of Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering, Planeswalker symbol stuff. It's not even just apparel. It's apparel, it's totes, it's all types of things in the rainbow theme to support LGBTQ youth in the community. All the proceeds go towards Lambert House, and they do amazing stuff to support youth here in the Seattle area, and they're expanding out into different counties here within the Seattle area, so it's really exciting, and a lot of that is due to the fundraising about what is going on here, but I know a lot of people were excited to purchase those T-shirts that we released last year, and now you can get them. They're a little bit of a longer window, so you have plenty of time to get what you want, and you can get different types of stuff. So yeah. I'm really excited about that.
I got a notebook. I'm really excited to add to my ampersand notebook collection. And also, I believe you guys have the little pop thing that goes on the back of phones.
Pop socket.
Yeah, that all the kids are using these days.
Yeah, on all the kids and Pelham Green. Yeah. He's got it. Actually, you got the same one that my wife now put on her phone as well. So It's for old people and young people at the same time. Anyone can do it. And I love it. So yeah, there's water bottles, there's a vinyl banner, there's a cotton tote bag, which is my favorite. I'm a big bag user for groceries as well as just getting around town. So you can pick up one of those, and that's really awesome. Also sunglasses. Why don't I have rainbow sunglasses right now? I need to start getting them and wearing them during Dragon Talk.
Right now.
Right now. Stat, someone bring me the rainbow sunglasses. I'll put them on as we talk about the next segment. So we're going to get to random character generator. We had a lot of fun, Kate and I, over the last 2 sessions of this, creating a random character, and we're going to get right into that right now. So let's do some techno dance music. That's the wrong beat, isn't it, Ryan? He's like, I made that. Do not screw it up, Greg. If you want me to do beatboxes over your music anytime, I'm ready to go.
I'm going to stay out of this.
That's a good idea. He's like, do not do that. All right, so we got 10 minutes to do our midtro and our outro. Do you think we can do it?
It's a race to the finish.
It's a race to the finish. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Remind people to subscribe to the podcast.
And as we found out, nobody can hear that when Ryan talks to me, but so he reminded me. He reminded me to subscribe to the podcast. All of you watching on Twitch, definitely subscribe to the podcast, but I'll do that in the midtro too, for reals. Wasn't that a great random character generator?
That was the best random character generator I've ever seen / heard.
It was pretty good. We made wasn't it fun?
I think that was a wonderful.
Lisa's mouth is moving, and we'll just be editing in anything. This is great. Thank you so much.
Oh, no. What have I done? Mistakes were made.
We cannot let that advantage go down. But that was exciting. I love all that stuff. And we are now going to talk to TK Johnson, Dungeon Master of Tales from the Mist. As well as an awesome person in the community in general.
Yeah, TK is a streamer extraordinaire. They're on so many different streams. They're one of the best dungeon masters I've ever had, and they're also just a really, really good writer, especially of spooky things.
Awesome. And as you said, a good human.
Yeah, a good human.
So let's listen to that now. Easy peasy on the midtro. I didn't say anything about subscribing. I guess I'll have to do it. Do it now. Do it now. That's a quote from the Little Shop of Horrors musical that not many people know because I don't think it's in the movie. All right. That was just a really great interview. I love talking to TK.
TK is just the best.
I feel inspired.
Yeah, me too. So inspired by everything that they do and everything that they said.
I am going to write a whole bunch of things now.
Yes.
Right now. I'm going to leave.
All right, goodbye.
While I'm writing, you should all subscribe to the podcast and tell your friends about subscribing to Dragon Talk. We enjoy, just being a conduit to many parts of the Dungeons & Dragons community that, people may not find out about other than listening to this podcast. So it's been a huge boon for that. I know people get excited about coming in and, learning about new things. So spread the word. Get as many people out there, your friends, your mom, your dad, your significant others, your dog, your cats, your hamsters, but never your cats.
Cats, you know.
Do I? What about cats? Are you anti-cat?
No, I love cats. If Clara and Lucy are watching or listening back home, I love you girls.
They're subscribers too. Okay,
yes,
good.
They've subscribed, so you should as well. And also leave stars and a review.
Oh, yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah, on iTunes.
We'll read them all.
All the places.
All the places.
Yes.
Is it even called? It's called like Apple Podcast now. It's not even on iTunes anymore.
I'm so not hip.
People know what you're talking about.
Why are you calling me out in the outro, Greg?
That's what outros are for. No, they're for lifting you up. Thank you so much for joining in with Shelley's absence. I know those are very large shoes to fill because she wears size 16 women's shoes, but thank you for coming
Swimming in them. You can't see them because they're under the table, but I am.
But you've done a pretty spot on good job, and I thank you, and I hope you come back.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Where can people follow stuff about you and what you're doing?
Oh, Well, people can find me on Twitter at MercifulDM. I'm the community manager for the Dungeon Masters Guild and the Adventurers League. So if you like D&D stuff, give me a follow. You could also check me out at lisachen.com, Lisa spelled with a Y, to see all my creative endeavors, writing, and just a whole bunch of Lisa stuff.
I love that there's like hashtag Lisa, like Team Lisa's thing going on.
Yeah, hashtag Team Lisa.
Yay, Lisas.
Yay.
Lisas of the world unite.
Yes.
And take over the world.
Oh, well, that's our secret plan. Don't outing us again in the outro.
We just, oh, man. All right.
We have to re-record this.
Strike that from the record. It shall not be done. I am, of course, Greg Tito. You can follow me on all the things at Greg Tito. I think it's Greg_Tito on Instagram. And most of those are about my kids, so bear with me there. But I do some D&D postings on that. And if you want to find out about all the things Dungeons and Dragons, follow Wizards_D&D on Twitter, D&D on Facebook. Actually, you should be doing all these. What are all those things that I just said?
Greg said it. Do what Greg said.
I think we've said doo-doo if I have too many times. Is Shelly here? Are you sure you're not Shelly talking about poop?
Zip.
Shelly comes out of the cocoon. Hello. My pigeon. Oh my God, that was an impression of an impression of an impression. We're
What's
very
happening?
There's a top spinning. There's like a D&D. There's a D20 spinning, and it's gonna keep spinning as we get out of here. But also download Dragon Plus to your phone. There's such great content coming from there. Articles, interviews, previews about what's coming from Dungeons & Dragons and all of our partners. It is fantastic. So if you want to get all the latest news from Dungeons & Dragons, that's one really good, easy way to do it on your phone. And last fun thing I want to talk about is that Warriors of Waterdeep is coming to your phone. I just was talking about phone, so I started to think about it.
What's that?
It is a mobile game set in Waterdeep, free to play, very kind of like a turn-based strategy game where you get, you recruit adventurers and you send them out on adventures and, kill monsters. And but it's all kind of tactical. It'll be like, oh, you can shoot this bow here, you cast this spell at this red dragon, and there's some binary choices in there. You interact with characters from Waterdeep like Laeral Silverhand, Mert, and Durnan, and interact with all of them. So.
Sounds so fun.
Sounds pretty fun. It's launched in Canada now, getting feedback, getting it ready to go for prime time. And I know the release date for what it will be worldwide, but I'll be talking about that in the weeks to come.
Oh, Greg.
I know, right? My notebook's not here. I don't want to speak out of turn. But we last week we had our interview with Stephen David Wark go live. That was recorded before in the before times after Stream of Many Eyes. So apologies if that interview was a little bit off. There was no Shelley on that one either. Which was just, we basically need to get her back eventually.
Shelly, come on.
Come on, Shelly. You can do it. Well, you'll be getting a whole bunch of that stuff when she's at the D&D Live 2019, The Descent. So look for more information on that. I know we plugged it a lot at the top of this, but dnd.wizards.com/D&D Live 2019. There'll be tons. See, now I've got it. I don't need to.
You're so good.
I'm like looking to you to be like, did you say it right? And she's like, yes, you did. Thanks, Lisa. But there'll be more and more information about more groups and more things popping up then. And, of course, tickets, badges, I should say. Badges are on sale now, and you'll be able to get that experience if you come to L.A. and check out what's happening from the studio.
Yeah, hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there. Lisa, do you think we should, stay in this cave anymore? I feel like it's really dark and dank, and the Bronx are going to hurt us.
No. I think we should leave.
Let's leave now.
Okay,
before
yes.
Oh, God!
Oh, no!
Oh, rocks fall on us and we're dead. Ooh, that was the exhale
dramatic.
into the microphone. Yeah. Sorry, I was in a cave for a second there. I felt transported. All right, well that was awesome. We got through 1 hour here. As dice are falling everywhere, and I'm like, where am I? What's my purpose in life? Thank you for those of you on Twitch. I haven't been watching the chat or anything, so if you're angry with me, I apologize. It's all my fault. I take full responsibility. But we're going to take a short break right now and then call up TK Johnson and interview them. It's going to be fun.
Hooray! See you soon, TK.